So I'm Analu Mulong Bangkaya, BTLEH student, and this is my report in PED 1 Unit 5 Week 15 with the topic of cognitive development of the preschoolers. So what are those cognitive development of the preschoolers? So first is the language development. So young children understand something gets ahead of their speech. So as a child goes through early childhood, their grasp of the rule of language increase. Symbolic thinking involves language literacy and dramatic play. So children rapidly conclude that sounds link together to make words, and the words represent ideas, people, and things. As they advance in age and as they continuously interact with people, preschool children accept rapidly in their vocabulary. Through fast mapping, a process by which a child absorbs the meaning of a new words after hearing it once or twice conversation. Also, a preschooler children combine syllables into words and words into sentence in increasingly sophisticated manners. So also of the cognitive development of preschoolers is information processing theory, attention, and memory. So the information processing model is another way of examining and understanding how children develop cognitively. So this model conceptualizes children's mental process through the metaphor of a computer processing, encoding, storing, and decoding data. The preschooler attentions span lasts longer than that of toddlers. So the child's ability to pay attention significantly during the preschool year. So among the interesting questions about the memory in the preschool year are those involving short-term memory. In short-term memory, retain information for up to seconds, so assuming there is no rehearsal which can help information STM for a much longer period. So the preschooler children recognize previously encountered information, recall old information, and reconstruct it in the present. So also, we have the Preschooler Cognitive Development 2007, Lective Language, Standard 1. The child is able to understand both verbal and nonverbal forms of communication. From 31 to 36 months, they can speak in simple sentence, talk about an event, and in understood. 37 to 48 months, they can use some preference, uses plural, uses past tense, and etc. And in 49 to 60 months, they can draw and tells a story about his drawing. Also, pre-reading and pre-mathematical matching. Standard 1, so the child is able to match identical object, color, shape, and symbols. So they can match object with two others and shapes, matches identical upper lower case, and copy simple patterns with two or more attributes, colors, and shape. They can recognize familiar logos like McDonald's, Coke, or Jollibee. They can recognize signs and matching identical to 2 to 4 letter words and matching identical single-digit numbers. Also, the child is able to recite an alphabets and numbers in sequence, so they can print uppercase letters with a model with some reserval. They can print complete name without model, prints uppercase letters with a model with no reversals. They can print lowercase letter with no models of some reversals. They can print uppercase letter without a model and no reversals, and so on. And also, the child is able to sustain attention and modulate his activity and age expected levels. So they can completely without prodding. Maybe distracted but refocuses on his or her and remain settled while lifting through a picture book for 55 minutes. And also they can remain settled while listening to a song using pictures books for 5 minutes. They can also work on school assignment with minimal supervision. They can also sustain attention and concentration on a tabletop activity for 15 to 20 minutes. They can also work on school assignment without minimal supervision and can work on school assignment independently. Also, the child develops basic concepts pertaining to object constantly space, time, quantity, duration, etc. and uses this as a basis for understanding how materials are categorized. So they can know the difference between a recent event and one that happens a long time ago. They can count with one-to-one correspondence. They can understand the concept of numbers quality, relations. They can group object by shares, arrange object by length, can tell in what way things are in the same, so they can tell which is left or right on him or her. So also, the child is able to understand the cause and effect. So understands reason behind rules and practical. They can also understand reason behind rules practiced in communities like those pertaining to sanitation, environment preservation, and etc. And also, the child is able to follow the logic of event by evaluating the fact presented to him. So they can tell what is silly or wrong with observed pictures, scenes. They can in sequence or as this happens, so they can appreciate humorous stories or jokes. They can know the certain things are the same and therefore can be substitute for each other. They can give substantive reason why she likes something or not. And they can also know the certain elements remain the same even if the positive changes. And also, they can know the certain elements remain the same even if the position change and able to predict what will happen next in the story. Will end and half a way through. So that's all my learning from week 13, 15 lessons in PED 1. So thank you for watching.